Did they tease Heath Ledger's Joker in Joker 2 movie? Is Agatha really mean or just misunderstood? Join us as we dive into these questions and more on Fundamentals. We are giving away a Marvel Legends Red Skull autographed by Ross Marquand himself. To enter to win, just have to follow our YouTube channel. The more you comment on our videos, the better your chance of winning is. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, we'll pick a winner and ship it straight to you.
Yes.
A lot of you that are returning viewers every week have not subscribed to our channel. So what are you doing? Hit subscribe right now so you can get notified every time we upload a new video or a short. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Hey.
So we are doing this on Sundays now. So from here on out, we will not be dropping episodes on Tuesdays. It will be every Sunday, but still we'll have our different special episodes here and there, celebrity interviews, and those will be announced as a few days before they drop. So how's everybody doing?
Living my best life. Drinking a
Yeah.
Red Bull, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm on my first of many cups of coffee this morning.
Hey, my brain is finally booted up to 100%. I'm ready.
This is
Heck
good.
yeah.
This is very good.
Oh man. So yeah, let's kick it off with some Marvel media. Oh, Agatha episode 4. Oh man.
No.
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. Agatha is so still bringing it for me. Like it's I still have zero complaints.
Yeah.
Mm.
No.
How did y'all like this episode?
First of all, the like the vibes of like the 70s that we got in this was just
Yes.
I loved it so much. Like the little glasses that Alice had, the bell-bottom jeans that Agatha was wearing. I was like, oh my God,
It was a
bring
whole
it
vibe
back.
and it was working.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess episode 4, we are into a fire trial, I would almost say, which this one really focuses on what's her name? Oh my
Alice.
god. Alice, yes. Drawing a blank.
Yeah.
So immediately we're set back in the 70s. This whole thing is really set with Alice, so it's with her mom's music. We see it affects all the witches. We see Jennifer Kell focusing on some, which was kind of a little eerie, creepy, like little like devil mask on a wall. And then if you look, eyes kind of appear inside one
Yep.
mask and visually are moving, and then they disappear again.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, I love that because it was done well and it wasn't cheesy. I was like, ooh, it's a little creepy. But yeah, pretty much they have to sing her mom's song.
The
And
rendition of
yeah,
the ballad. Yeah.
which I really love the creativity where they're like, this actually your mom created this to help protect you because this song would outlive her mom, and it was a protection spell, is what the song ended up to be, to protect her daughter. And I don't know, I love how they came up with that. I thought that was great. She found out it was more than her mom trying to make her fans her giant coven all over the world. It was actually to protect her daughter long after she died.
Yeah.
But yeah, come to find out, the curse is real. So this curse, immediately she's like, y'all feel lighter. And like, I love how, because that demon's been perched on her, like everywhere she goes. And then they have to figure out how to fight this demon and uplift the curse and protect everybody. She takes the knife and draws circles around them to protect them. And I love how, like, when Teen gets thrown through the window, everybody rushes in there. Jennifer Kill's like, I'm staying in my circle.
He did. He's like, I'm not moving.
Yeah. But they all end up having to sing and pretty much get rid of this curse and this demon.
Yeah.
And then once again, something opens up in the house, and they end up going down further. And they keep going down further levels every time.
Yeah, the piano opened, and it was, oh my God, that was like so cool because like pianos actually open like that, and obviously it doesn't go down into the underground or whatever. Right. But like just to like see the way that they played on that was like really neat.
And I love how we keep going deeper on realms. Everything's always going down. We started out at ground level when they summoned the Witch's Road. But then they go down it. They're back on the road. Teen, realized they found Teen. He passed out because when he got through the window, some glass, he's bleeding out. And then we really see a moment here. We have some moments with Agatha and Rio, which we'll get into, but then also Agatha looks at Rio and she's like, don't, like pleading her not to even come near him, which even confirms more that this is death.
Mm.
But yeah, so they end up doing some moonlight water and healing him, and you're back on the witch's road, and I'm sure we'll be set for another trial in the next episode.
And that was the cool part of that too, is that it was Jennifer was the one that did the
Yes.
moonlight water, and she didn't have her powers before this, but
Yes.
now all of a sudden she had some
Mm.
powers and was able to heal him, and we got to see that. And they were like, "Did you see what you did, Jennifer? Like, did you see?" And she's like, "Oh, I did that."
Yes.
He said,
Yeah,
"I
it
am a
was great
bad
to see
bitch."
that. Yeah, and like it was, I think she really needed that. She needed to see that. Uh,
Mhm,
so I think it's so cool each episode, even though each what we've seen so far as the trial has been heavily focused on one, we still see an explanation of the lives individually still in
mhm.
each of the witches. I mean, whether it be a struggle or a little bit more, tidbit of their past or something. So I love that.
Yeah, when you think about all the different names that they've tried to name this show, and like it makes you wonder why they stuck with Agatha all along. Like in my opinion, like you could have named this Agatha Coven of Chaos because
Mhm.
like this first season is really about each individual witch that's in her coven, and
Right.
I think that would have made sense. It would have made so much more sense than Darkhold Diaries because there's nothing. We haven't seen anything Darkhold related besides that one deal about her trading for her son,
Right.
and we just been focused on the coven for most of the season so far.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I
5
I
episodes
actually
left.
yeah, so Agatha All Along, I like the title because of Agatha All Along at the end of WandaVision, but like you said, honestly, the Coven of Chaos really is more fitting. I kinda wish they would have stuck with that title, that because that
Yeah,
was one of the original titles they were gonna go with.
Yeah.
yeah. It's all about the witches in this, and it's
Mm,
like nothing else is going on. We're studying Jennifer Kale, we're studying Alice and Wiccan and everybody that's involved. So just name it that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not over, so maybe, the I think there could be more trials, but I think we've only got, like, 1 or 2 more trials left.
I mean, so
Mhm.
my theory is that and I kind of talked about this with Blake,
Mhm.
um, that there's the color of the leaves that keep changing.
Mm,
So the first set of leaves that they walked on was kind of like a bluish, like teal type looking color before they went into the sand to get to that first trial. And then we ended up like having the potion like being brewed. So you need water for a potion to be brewed. And they ended up like being underwater by drowning, because that's
mm,
one of the ways that witches have been killed in the Salem witch trials. So
right.
then this episode, you got to see that the colors of the leaves were orangish red. And then we went into the trial and it was a fire trial, and Alice's hair has like red in it. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just like picking up little like
Yeah,
ways and things that I'm just like, I don't know if this is like at all anything, but this is where I'm at in my life right now. As I'm like looking and I'm like thinking,
yeah.
I'm like, could this
I
be something?
I think you're right. I think it's either one or two things. I think you're right, and we're going to see the trials of the way they killed witches back then, or the ways to kill a witch, or
Mm,
or it's the earth, wind, and fire, type thing. One of the two.
yeah,
I personally think it's leaning more towards what your theory is, honestly,
because
because like
so
even when they walked in this house
yeah,
on the '70s theme, you
mhm,
seen on the canvases it showed different witches being killed. Like I
yep,
think one was tied up in a chair.
mhm,
One I think was she hanging from a noose or getting ready to be
I
hung
think
from a
so,
noose?
yeah,
One was
mhm,
water. One was fire being burned at the stake. So
mhm.
I truly think that's what it's leaning towards. And you're 100% correct on that.
Also the one of the reasons is like after they left that second trial, and they were trying to heal Teen, the leaves were purple,
Mhm.
and Agatha is purple.
Right.
So I think that's what's probably going to be next, is something, or that was something for her, to realize like this is what she cares about most is
Right.
Teen. And Teen asked her like, "Oh, did you put the sigil on me?" And she's like, "What? No,
Yeah.
no."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Which
okay.
we did learn in this one, whoever puts a sigil on someone, that spell actually works on whoever gave it for them to forget
Hmm.
and not know that they did it. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, whoever put the
Nobody
sigil
would
on
know.
him is not gonna know.
And the only
Yeah.
way to break it is to know the name.
Right?
Yeah, and, is that was it wasn't there some other piece they said? Like,
Well,
the
they
only
said that
way it can
as
be broken was the only way it can come off it is to, the reason for it was put on, like, the reason for it to be done is over, and that's the
yeah.
only way it can be broken. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the episode ended with like Rio like telling Agatha to her face, like, you know he's not yours, right?
They almost kissed
Yeah, yeah,
Phew.
and then
I mean,
Rio
MCU
had
highlight.
to ruin it, the moment it makes Agatha storm off.
Ah, we'll get
Phew.
back to that. It's okay. It's coming.
We're gonna
Yep.
find out what she meant by that statement too.
I mean,
Yeah.
and Blake showed it to me is that they had said that same line in WandaVision
Ooh.
Mm.
that
Yeah,
that's not your child
telling Wanda, hey, that's not your boys, and then now Agus has been told that's not your son,
because
so there's
Agatha
that.
told Wanda that, and
Yeah,
now
Yeah.
she's being told by somebody else that those are like
yeah.
that's not your kid, and I'm
That's a
like,
whole nother level of layered depths right there. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
okay, how's it feel, bitch? No,
Yeah.
uh, man, there's so many great things in this. So, I want to bring back up this. This was one of the lower budgeted series that was brought up. Agatha is one of the lower budgeted series,
mhm,
and they really leaned a lot more into practical effects. And I tell you what, it's working for me. Like I love it. Like I tell you what, this demon,
yeah,
like it was horrendous.
yeah,
Like even though the wings you can tell are practical, like at the same time, man, the makeup and VFX effects like they did to it, man, it was scary. It was a scary ass deal. And like
mhm,
for those marks to be on her, and those are marks from that thing perching on her
the
shoulder.
claws,
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
creativity from them, like man, that is cool. And just as she was like, I feel lighter, and of course nobody's felt lighter but her. And I'm like, man, imagine that. Like you can't see it, but you've been walking around with this thing perched on you, which is your curse. Like I really thought it was really creative to come across as a curse layering over someone and a curse being a demon, and that
mhm,
thing not even metaphorically being attached, but physically being attached.
yeah.
Phew.
I
And
loved
this
it.
also reminded me of the Wizard of Oz with the flying monkeys.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they kinda have, like, that same kind of look, and they have,
Mhm.
like, the perchy claws and stuff, so I was like, "Oh, is that also a nod now to The Wizard of Oz some other way?" Um, yeah.
But let's give shout out to Teen for being a trooper. He had that glass in his side the whole time they were rocking out. Looked down,
Mhm.
seeing it, didn't care. He was just going, man.
You keep
Uh,
on.
yeah, and then pass out there at the end. I'm like, okay, all right,
He's a warrior.
yeah. But I don't know, man. We keep seeing so many moments too. Like we know Agatha's bad, and I really want Agatha to stay bad. Like I don't want it to be like, oh, she's some great, great, great person. Sure, give us some reasons for why she is this way, but yeah, don't give her a redemption arc to make her a good person. Keep her bad. But
Yeah.
man, we keep seeing these little tidbits of a motherly concern, or I think as she's working with these witches, she's slowly being drawn to them and caring. But she still has these outbursts and these moments where she's like, "All right, screw y'all. I don't care about you."
Yeah.
Uh, I'm curious to see like how strong that's going to get, or if she's going to stay solid and faking things
Mm.
until she's done with them at the end.
Like, that scene where, like, Agatha and Rio are in that, like, music room in the back, and then she, like, leans on
Mm.
the little,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
mic thing, and she's like, "Oh, I would never,"
yeah.
or
Yeah.
something
Set
like
her
that. Oh
up.
my god.
So many
You
major deviations from the comics, but I'm loving it. So MCU can have this one.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I that's what the MCU too has kind of been known for. They rewrite the narratives and some of these characters and their powers or their storytelling, which so far I don't really have much of a complaint for, and I kind of like it because we don't want nothing to be predictable. We don't want to come directly out of the comic book pages where we're going to be able to predict, what's going to happen next. So truly, it's the MCU creating their own new storyline with these arcs, these characters and their arcs, and changing them. Um, but I don't know. It works. It works for me. I like it. I like us not being able to predict. But I still though in Fantastic Four, I want to see another version of Agatha. Like give us a comic accurate. Like don't dive into her
The
character by
nanny.
no means, but just give us an old Agatha as the nanny, and then like a couple of scenes or something like that. Nothing deep, but I would
Mhm.
love to see that,
Would
and it'd be
you
a good nod to the OG.
would you want them to actually have the same person that plays Agatha in this, or would you want like an actual like older actor, like kind of like a Glenn Close or something,
Mm. I
who we
would
know is kind of evil and
right
has that like Cruella Deville like type, aura about her,
yeah.
to play old Agatha
I
Nanny.
would I would love to
Catherine.
see. I would love it to be Catherine Hahn, and they like DH her like they did Steve Rogers. Or not DH her, age her, like they did Steve Rogers at the end of
Mhm.
Endgame. That
Okay,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
okay.
'Cause that was
No, I'm
actually
just
Chris
wondering.
Evans playing old Cap, that they aged up, sitting there at the end when he passed the shield on to Sam.
Hmm.
But
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. Glenn Close would be a great one. Unfortunately, she's already been in Marvel though. Is what Nova
Yeah,
Prime?
but makeup does wonders.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
This
Just look at Josh Brolin.
Yeah, for real, for real.
is true.
But yeah, I'm loving it still. I do hope that they don't drag out all the trials till the end.
Mm,
Like I want to see. I don't want to be. Like I watched the deal the other day, and I didn't really think about this. Brandon Davis guested on the break room, the Rockstars break room, and he's like, I don't want to see episode after episode trial, and it become redundant. And then we have one or two episodes where it's just like, oh, okay, now this is what happened. And I thought about that. I'm like, I like the idea of the trials. I think they're very important. It's very important what we see them go through, but I do hope they don't stretch them out and it be 3/4 of the season.
mm.
Right.
No,
Because
I
we
think
have,
that like we have two more probably trials, and then we're gonna
Mhm.
get to the end, and then we're gonna eventually have to go back into time
Right.
because we see like we had seen her like kick Teen in the chair that was actually in her home, so
Right.
we
And
have to
her
have
Agatha's mom,
that.
I believe, is confirmed to be like who played her mom from WandaVision. I think she's confirmed to be in a scene, so I think we're definitely going to get a more flashback. Well, let's be real. We always get some kind of flashback in these seasons. So the screeners, everybody screen these. They sent out like the first 4 episodes. Uh, but there's people that like were part of the creativity of it, and some people, especially people who've seen this that weren't screeners, they're saying that episode 5, the next one, is like really, really good. Like
Mm,
I don't, I've not heard nothing about what happens to it, but they said episode 5 is really, like, really good. Like it stands out and is even more deeper than the first 4. So yeah, I hope that's right. I hope it's right.
interesting.
we only
We
have
got
like
two
what, 8
witches left,
episodes
and we
though?
have 5 episodes left.
Yeah, eight
Uh,
episodes, and we're halfway, so we got
yeah.
4 left. So yeah, I really hope
It's just 9. We got a doubles on October 31st. So
yeah,
8,
yeah.
9. Yep.
Season finale is a double episode showing.
Mm,
So yep. Uh, I'm I'm ready for it. I hope it's good though. I just hope with this story and what needs to go along, this is one of the seasons that definitely does not need a filler episode. So I
mm,
hope we don't end up getting one of those filler episodes.
yeah. No, this is
Yeah.
true. Don't become Naruto. Don't keep giving us like filler episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Going to the next thing on the list, Spider Noir. Good old Nick Cage got a first leaked set photo
Mhm.
right there. He's in no black trench coat. Not a whole lot we see that could be teased or nothing like that, but yeah, he's in that black trench coat. Looks like he's almost would be in that full suit that he normally is in, minus the mask right there. So
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
hat.
Yeah. Like I'm excited to see what they do with this. Like I did see another one of the leaked photos of the set of him holding this newspaper.
Mm,
And if you kind of like look sideways and kind of like zoom into the paper a little bit,
uh-huh.
you see something called it says the newspaper like head article thing. It says Spider-Man or sorry, Silvermane survives in like cities.
Oh.
For those of you that don't know, like me, who had to do a little bit of research, Silvermane is actually his actual name is Silvio Manfredi.
Hmm.
He is a major criminal in the like. in the Marvel comics for
Mhm.
Spider-Man in general. He's like a crime boss, a part of the Maggette or Maggie, Maggie. Ah, um, like that's the organization that he's head of. So he eventually goes to prison at some point in the comics, and for tax evasion, and his empire is kind of actually like kind of crumbles, and Kingpin actually takes over.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, ooh,
Hmm.
like where are they going with this timeline? Like
Right.
there are lots of different things about Silvermane, and he gets his name because it's a nickname because he in his 40s his hair went like grayish like silver, and he
Mm.
looks like he has like a silver mane.
Huh.
So like I'm excited to see what they do with this. Like this is supposedly possibly their villain
Mm.
of like Spider Noir. Um so like I'm excited to see what they do with like the old timey 30s feel,
Yeah.
and see how Nick Cage does that as an actual like because got to hear him play Spider Noir
Right. And it
already in the
worked
Spider
well.
Verse movies. Yeah, no, it did.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see his face. Now we see his face and the
Yeah.
fingers.
And
You know,
The Elvis fingers.
Huh.
That's
But
probably how you shoot his webs out too with the Elvis point.
I just really hope they
you
keep a
know that
lot
would
of
be hilarious.
I really hope they just keep a lot of control over him and
Mm,
his acting and like what they want him to do and not give him so much freedom on
mm,
like letting loose like he does on so many.
Oh,
If they really keep on him on the acting and not let him free act anything, I think we'll be
mhm.
all right. But that's the
Okay.
main thing is like, yeah.
yeah. A
Yeah,
little bit more
potentially.
background on Silvermane. If you've watched the Spider-Man animated series from in the '90s, Silvermane had a daughter, Alicia Silvermane, and both of
And
them were
she,
both like
yeah,
long-term antagonists for Spider-Man.
she
They
eventually
hired
dated.
Tombstone.
Yeah, she dated Peter Parker for a short period of time too.
She did.
Hmm.
Man. Peter was winning. He Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane Watson, Alicia. It's like, damn, bro, chill out. But Alicia was a problem on her own too. So the Silvermane
Mm,
family is not to be trifled with.
Mm.
So the Spider-Man Noir universe is a completely separate universe from Peter Parker. So it's interesting to see what Silvermane and his world is going to be about.
yeah. Or if this is just a newspaper and we're reading too much into it.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
That could be just that in the show as a Easter egg.
Yeah.
Right.
You never know with Marvel. You
I
never
feel it's
know.
something like Spider Noir. You're going to need a very, very ground level, threat. I don't think it could be too crazy, really.
Mhm.
So I think it would make sense if they went that route.
Yeah.
Also, I love 20s and 30s era stuff. Like that's one of my favorite eras. Like if I could go back in time and like revisit and live in an era, 20s, 30s, I really love. So like I'm super excited just to see something that's like all that time era. Like and
Yeah.
I hope I'm sure it'll be done well. But I don't know. I just love like how people dressed back then.
And that's
Like
the Prohibition era, right? So
mhm.
the
We're gonna see Nick
Yeah.
the
Cage's
shimmy
Spider
like
Noir,
dresses.
run and shine also on the side. As a side gig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's what this like whole storyline is that he's like a washed up like cop
Mm,
realizing that he's really the only superhero in his time, and he still has to fight things, and he's like battling that. So he's definitely probably has a drinking problem.
Oh man.
So I can only imagine like where we're going with this.
yeah. Oh, I'm ready for it though. I'm anxious for it. Like until I physically have seen it, even if, no matter what Sony puts out, so I physically watch it. I'm like, all right, they failed us again. Like
Ugh.
I'm going to get excited for a lot of these stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I mean, the next Sony project that we have coming out
is
is
Venom,
Venom.
and
Yeah.
then Craven.
Yep.
Oh
That'll be
man.
Venom in October and Craven in December.
hmm And this isn't like the Spider Noir doesn't really have like a date or anything attached, but the fact
Mhm.
that they just started filming it probably means like we probably won't get it until like late 2025 is my thinking.
Oh, I bet you're right. I'm sure.
Mm.
I am anxious to hear like so. kind of playing off the Spider-Man thing. There's rumor that Spider-Man 4 is going to be labeled the King in Black. And there's so many rumors with this Venom movie. Like we're so close, we're about to find out that this is the last Venom title, but this is
Mm,
not the last time we see Tom Hardy's Venom in other movies. And they're saying that at the end of this movie, like Noel is going to cross over into the MCU,
mm,
and that this is going to lead to a lot of Sony's characters and stuff being permanently into the MCU. So
okay.
and supposedly the MCU is going to kind of like take over that and bring these characters in.
Okay.
And I don't and into Tom Holland Spider Verse. And I think if that's true, I know it's wild, but if that's true, I think this is a good thing because then
Mm,
we'll get a lot of these characters. We'll probably get a real Sinister Six, or whatever, and it be done right by the MCU. But
yeah.
this is strictly rumor, speculation. I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
I've
Also,
also I've
I was gonna
also
say,
read though that like Tom Hardy has said that like he's not doing Venom again. Like this is his last one.
yeah. Well, I think so. What that's been read into, like this is his last Venom movie because Tom
Okay.
Hardy actually loves the Venom character. He's like super
Uh,
obsessed with it, and they're like, if he was asked to be his Venom character, bring titles, they're like, no doubt he would definitely do it. But
okay.
he's just done making the Venom standalone movies.
Got it.
That's
And
fair.
also, the latest person to play Noel that's heavily rumored is Andy Serkis. They're saying that that's who's going to be playing him. And of all people to play the CGI character, I think Andy Serkis would be a great one. I mean, we've seen his many talents as Alfred Pennyworth. We see him in oh shoot, Black
Black
Panther.
Panther. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lucy's
and then
Claw.
he Smeagol's and Gollum in Lord of the Rings. Dude's very versatile, and like he's also done the Lord of the Rings audiobooks, and he's reading the audiobooks, but while he's doing them, he changes his voice and does it to the character's voice. Oh yeah, like
This is
I
amazing.
yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
downloaded them, but that's one of my things I want to download because like just him narrating and then changing his voice. Oh yeah,
Mm,
dude's got an iconic voice and can do so many different characters. It's wild.
that's great. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
cool. I just finished my first Stephen King book. This is my next thing apparently on my list.
Also, Deadpool Wolverine out for digital download. It's on Amazon Prime. You can buy it. I will probably buy it. But
Mhm.
I don't. It's got so many extras. Like I've not got to see
Yeah.
anything.
The deleted scenes. Oh my god,
Yeah,
there's like so many of them.
there's a lot of extras, but we do not know when it's going to come to Disney Plus for streaming yet. It's rumored to be around October 26th, toward the end of October, beginning of November. I'm sure like this digital download, they're going to give us 2 to 4 weeks, see how much more cash grab they can get,
They
on
are
that.
breaking so many records right
Yeah.
now, also with the amount of people that have downloaded this movie, and bought it. I know that I'm gonna get it, like, as soon as, so AD comes up, like, this weekend, so I know that, like, we're gonna go ahead and, like, get it and
Uh,
watch all of those scenes and everything too.
Heck yeah,
Nice.
yeah. You have to let us know,
Oh,
like,
yeah, I will.
yeah.
Perfect date
I've
night right
heard
there.
I've heard that, there's a lot more Chris Evans in the
Oh,
deleted
really?
scenes,
Oh,
that's what I've
nice.
read.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm here
damn.
for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
His scenes were so funny. Also, Andrew Garfield. He was just in an interview recently, and he's making it known. He's 100% down to return of Spider-Man. And
Mhm.
and out of all three Spider-Men we've had, he was the one that was kind of done the dirtiest. You know, because he had another Spider-Man film coming up, and then that stuff shift happened, and then they cast Tom Holland, and they started the new Spider-Man again, and
Yeah.
so I don't
But
know, man.
after, like, No Way Home came out, like, everybody's like, "Oh, man, would we wanna see him as a Spider-Man again?" Like,
Yeah.
it's been, like, kind of, like, played with, and now
Hmm.
knowing that, like, he said, like, he's down for it.
I,
I don't
I
know.
I'm here for it, man. So as an actor alone, I love Andrew Garfield. I
Mm,
don't think I've hardly seen anything he's been in that's been bad.
okay.
To me personally, like the dude, he's very versatile.
Mm,
Uh, there's a film, and it's probably a lesser known film because I think it's called 99 Houses, 99 Homes or 99 Houses, and it's about like when I think it's back in '08, like when the economy crashed, and it's kind of like a guy going through a hard time and trying to rebuild his life. And if you haven't watched it, I'm telling you right now, like watch. It's called 99 Houses, I believe, and it's
That's
so
giving me,
good.
like, the Pursuit of Happiness vibes just off of what you've
Hmm.
said.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
that's there's like, I immediately
I love
thought
that movie too.
of
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, no, it's a great movie. It's a great Will Smith
Tearjerker.
movie. Oh,
Yeah,
man,
Mm-hmm.
but between that and there's like Hacksaw Ridge, Spider Man, and then shoot, there's that one where he plays a musician. Like they're all great movies though. He's a great actor, and like I don't know, I like his Spider Man too. Like he's by far he's like not my favorite Spider Man, but
mhm.
I enjoy watching his Spider Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has the most comic accurate Spider-Man. Tom Holland has best of both worlds, and then Toby's the best Peter Parker.
Mm, I got that. Something about just Toby's face, I can't stand as Peter Parker.
The
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with you. He's like one of those. Still, I'm like, God,
Was it
no.
because
Flash
of
Thompson
his
should punch him.
emo?
Dude,
Is it because of his
oh,
emo scene?
it wasn't because of that, but let me tell you, that did not help. That did,
His little dance scene
so
and
cringe. I know, and I know it was supposed to be cringe because in his mind, this was what Peter Parker's idea he thought cool was being, and so like I get the whole reason behind it before anybody wants to jump down my throat about it, but Tobey Maguire is my least favorite. I'm just he is,
Okay.
yeah. But that being said, y'all ready to discuss some DC?
Absolutely.
let's get it.
All right. So man, we're starting to get like weekly some DC news trickling in, from James Gunn stuff. I mean, it seems like a little bit tidbits are keep coming in, keep coming in.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's going to be an animated Robin origin story featuring Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Yeah.
You're going to call it the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
this is
Robin and
yeah, I
Robin.
can get behind.
this is going to be animated. I think this is what they're working on after Creature Commandos, or they started working already. It's going to be the next one animated film series. I think after Creatures Commando.
Yeah. It's supposed to be so we already have a writer for this.
Hmm.
And it's the same writer from Coco. And Matt Reeves is producing it, but this is going to be separate from the Reeves
Right.
Gotham
You
verse that we
It's gonna be
already have
like an
with the
Elseworld or
Batman. And
something.
I'm sorry.
It's going to be like an Elseworld type thing. It's going to have no relation. Correct.
Right, correct.
Mm.
So it's going to be completely separate from Batman and Penguin that we're getting right now,
Yep.
and Batman 2 eventually, right? So this is going to be separate from what we're getting right now. But
But
yeah,
we've already seen Matt Reeves. We've seen one animated version of he worked on with Batman. So we know he can pull it off. I'm here for it.
'cause he
Like
worked on
I'm.
the Caped Crusader, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And to me that
Mhm.
was great. That's a great
Hmm.
series, phenomenal. So,
Yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm definitely here for it. It's the first time I think ever in my life I've been getting like anxious and excited for DC things to be dropping. But yeah,
Yeah, even though it's like an overload of just straight up Gotham shit, it's like it's still DC and it's good
yeah.
quality DC stuff. So
Or like when it does come to
we
DC, if
heard your thoughts about that last episode.
oh man,
you have not missed, or if you have missed Deontay's rant on DC, go back and watch the last episode. It's worth it. I promise you.
very
it's
unhinged.
it's different.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm anxious for this. I think it's I don't think we've actually seen this animated or live action. A story of these two toads like this really.
Yeah,
I mean, closest we've seen is probably the Max
Batman and
series.
Robin and
No, no, no. I was gonna say with Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. I
oh,
mean, the
okay.
closest thing we got was the Max series, Teen Titans or
Mm,
Titans. I'm sorry. So those two characters were heavily in there, but I think this is going to be a completely different storytelling at all of their characters. So,
All right.
but that being said, we had the pleasure of watching Joker Folie à yesterday. Me and Deontay did.
Yeah.
I did
So,
not.
Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, their performances were great. Like their acting it is great for what they were doing, what they portrayed. Uh, so the first Joker movie, I absolutely loved.
Mhm.
I think I know it's a mixed review on it too, but like I loved it, and it was something I just thought really worked well as a standalone movie without it even having anything to do with DC. Really, just I think just a standalone being non related to Batman it was phenomenal, which had me super excited for Joker Folie à and I don't know. I watched it. I'll probably never watch it again. So it was very artsy, and I know what they were going for, and I can appreciate the art that was put into it.
Okay.
But I feel like even I don't know. I feel like even for a musical, it was too much. I
Mhm.
think that so the musical acts to me it made the movie get lost and unfocused easily to me. I feel like it was a little overly done.
Okay.
Uh, I don't
Because
know.
they try to say that like it wasn't, because like I haven't seen it.
Right.
So like I remember them saying like, oh, it's a musical, and then them getting flack about it, and then they were kind of like, oh, it's not a musical. She got musical aspects to it.
It's definitely a musical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's definitely a musical.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I could be wrong. I know I'm probably exaggerate when I say this, but I feel like there was like 16 musical acts in this 2 hour and 18-minute movie, and it needed maybe 2 music acts. I just feel like the story gets very lost in the music acts, and most of the music acts I didn't really care for, to be honest with you. I found myself and Deontay both nodding off
Yeah.
during some of the music acts. Like literally, we elbowed each other. It was like, oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Uh, but the acting was great. Like I mean, like Joaquin Phoenix. Let me tell you, like that guy just the
He
character.
plays an amazing Joker.
Yeah, the Arthur Fleck, the struggles, the trauma, the stuff that he's been through. Like God, he plays such a great person that struggles with like it was a psychosis issue.
Mhm.
And Lady Gaga's stuff, I would have liked to see more Lady Gaga. Uh,
Okay, with Harley Quinn?
I would have liked
Okay.
Mm.
more screen time and more diving deeper into her character than what we got. Like it's definitely a different take on Joker Harley Quinn, and I get this is Elseworld. Uh, man, it was a lot of music and not I and some musicals I'm hit and miss with. So, like, I don't hate musicals by no means, but to me, it's gotta be done really, really well
Mhm.
just for the way I like to look at them. Like,
Yeah.
just because I don't like this doesn't mean someone who loves musicals watch this and they're like, "Oh, this actually was phenomenal."
Right, because, I mean,
Mm.
you're still excited to go see Wicked, which very much
Right.
is a musical,
Right,
so
right. Yeah, and, like, I love Grease, and, Greatest Showman is one of my all-time favorite movies, and that's a musical.
mhm,
But there's certain musicals that's just not my thing. So this musical just wasn't really my thing.
okay.
Uh, yeah,
If
there
you had to
definitely was.
compare it to another musical that you had seen or movie kinda thing, like,
Mm,
what would you guys like, have you seen
I
anything kind of like it or
no.
no? Okay.
Mm-mm.
No.
So like
Just no.
Yeah.
I've watched some bad musicals. Well, for my taste,
Mm.
and I can't even tell you one right now because like I've made my mind forget them. So
Did you
this will.
like Les Mis?
So I've actually not ever watched that all the way through. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I need to
What
because I
movie
need
was
to.
this?
Les Mis with
Les
Hugh
Les
Jackman.
Mis.
Miserables?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, Sweeney Todd, because those
Oh,
are
Okay.
Sweeney
decent
Todd.
musicals.
Absolutely.
So Sweeney Todd was definitely not on top of my list. Like that was one of those I watched once and never would again. But
Mm.
I would rather watch Sweeney Todd than this.
I love Sweeney Todd.
Yeah,
So,
Sweeney Todd
Yeah.
was my
I'm just trying to
shit.
see where your,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
liking of musicals is
Yeah.
at,
Well,
and
I'm
then
not
try
saying like,
to
ooh, I've
compare
watched
it.
a crap ton of musicals, but like
Mm.
this one was just not for me.
Unnecessary. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it was very unnecessary.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
Deontay, what's your thoughts on kind of that and different things? I mean,
It's like I got one major con and one major pro about this. One major con about this movie is that, of course, the musical bits were unnecessary. It's just like, why would you sit in your office and be like, man, you know what the people of the United States want to see? Uh, Joker using musicals as a way of escapism from his really fucked up reality.
Oh,
And it
it's
was
like
like,
Sucker Punch.
yeah, basically
Oh.
that's what it is. It's just like
yeah.
we're gonna spaz out and live in this fantasy world where I'm him, I'm Joker, and I'm this shit. And it's like, all right, cool, but bring us back to reality so we can get back to you killing people. And
Yeah, we see
he
more
didn't do
Joker
none
in
of that.
fantasy than we did in real life. I mean, like pretty much our Joker that we got out of this was fantasy only until the very end. and then it was like done and over.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's just like Todd Phillips allowed other actors to be more Joker than Arthur Fleck was. So it's
Yeah,
just like
truly.
he's like soul searching. He's like trying to figure out if he's truly the Joker or not. And it's just like the whole movie contradicted itself. So I can
Mm.
see why people would complain about it. I
Okay.
don't understand why they would completely shit on this movie though, because it,
No, no, no,
Mm.
no. I don't think you
yeah,
should completely shit because like even though the musical thing wasn't for me, I know like that's just my opinion. Like
Yeah.
because there could be people who are huge musical fans and thought it was done really well. I'm obviously not like super educated in that realm of movies, but I can appreciate the artsiness. I mean, it's very artsy, like with the fantasy deals, but like why make this like you said, why make this a musical when the first one completely was not? And it
Yeah.
was so well received, I feel like.
Mhm.
And like they didn't have like the budget was really low for the first one. Like I remember them that was the thing. They made so much money off the first one because the budget was so low and it was so well loved. I just feel like this was a wild left turn uh that was not the best move for a sequel.
Something that I actually
yeah, it just
realized was that, like, when this movie came out, that 5 years to the day exactly
Mhm.
was the day that I saw Joker 1, like, in theaters, so I was like,
Uh,
"Did they really make it just exactly 5 years, like, apart? Did they
hmm.
put them in the same exact, release date?" So I have to, like, look into that, because I thought that was pretty cool, but, I remember going and seeing Joker 1 and being like, "Okay, this is a standalone Joker movie.
Right.
This is not getting a sequel," and that's what they kept on saying. "This is just a
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna get a sequel," and then now here we are 5 years later with a
Mhm.
sequel, and I'm
And
like,
this movie starts
yeah.
off taking place like 18 months after the first one. So,
Yes, and it's
but
pretty much the way that they wrote this movie. This movie could have been the first Joker movie. Honestly,
mm,
all you had to do was give us one flashback to why
yeah,
Arthur wound up in
honestly,
Arkham,
yeah.
and then you just go from there. Because you
The
could have
sto
changed the title too. Because Folie à Deux is just like
yeah,
why would you choose that? You could have just said the
yeah,
trial of Arthur Fleck,
dude, yes,
which is
yeah,
90% of the movie.
yeah, yeah,
It's
like,
it's
so the to be honest with you, I did not expect this least of progression in his character. Like, we got 0 progression in his storytelling, I feel like, at all,
"Okay,
and then he ends up just forgive me for saying this, turned out to be a little bitch at the end. I mean, he ends up just, like, giving up his Joker deal, like, "Oh, I'm not psycho, I did this, and yes, I killed y'all think I killed 5, I killed 6. My mother, I smothered her with a pillow." Like, we got 0 progression of this, that he ends up, like, giving it up, and then he gets stabbed by a true psycho in the prison and gets killed at the end of this.
oh,
yeah, spoiler.
Which is like the real Joker is kinda what they're leading on to be, because Arthur Fleck was never the Joker we all know.
yeah,
Mhm.
So, like, it's almost like Arthur Fleck set the foundation for the real Joker to become, and that's how this
mm,
ends, and we know we're not getting any more movies of this. And what's wild is, like, you see this guy who's a true psycho, and he just stabs, Joaquin Phoenix multiple times in the gut, and then as he's laying on the ground dying, he takes the knife, and you can see it's blurred out, but he's taking the knife and cutting his, smile onto his face like Heath Ledger's Joker. Why they would do that in this and, like, mess with people's mind knowing that's immediately what everybody's gonna think is like, "Oh, is this" there's so many people out here like, "Is this how Heath Ledger's Joker started?" You know? Like, this ain't
Yeah.
even that same world. So, like,
yeah."
No.
why even give us a few seconds of showing this guy cutting the scars, the cuts into his face like our Heath Ledger Joker, and then he's laughing hysterically, and that's how it ends.
Maybe this is their way of saying, because haven't seen it, don't know, right?
Sure.
But based off of what you guys are saying, maybe this is their way of saying this is how this Joker was originated, and we're
Mhm.
going to see this Joker in one of the Reeves or someone's DC universe, and that's the beginning, because we don't actually know, based off the comics, based off of everything,
Mhm.
how Joker started. Joker has no origin story. So,
Mhm.
like, they could
Right.
really do whatever they want with it.
Sure.
So
Well,
I'm
And
wondering.
also,
And this is
Heath
set like
Ledger got his smile from his parents, so his dad cut his smile open on his face, and that's where he got his. Remember how? You want
well,
to know how I got the
we
scars?
really don't know though, because every time he's like, "You want to know how I got these scars?" The story changed every time. Every
That's right,
time.
he did.
The
He
story
did. He
changed
did change
every
the
time,
story.
so we really don't know because the dude was just like lying every time. We don't know if any of those stories are true, if one of them was true, or none of them are true.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
because and we also got to remember this is the Phillip verse. So there's a Nolan verse, there's a Reeves verse, and then
right,
this is Todd Phillips. So he has no connections to him, and he's just playing around with ideas and shit. And it's just
yeah.
like, all right, reckless, but
I
I'll take it.
It's reckless. I wish they wouldn't have done it because I think it's going to do nothing but just like with people like us who love to deep dive and figure out what the meaning behind everything. I think it's just a mind fuck, to be honest with you. Like
Mm.
It really
it's
is.
going to lead to nothing. But it's going to mess with us and be like, why did you do that to us? Why did we have to see this? Because you're going to make people wish it led to something now, but it's never going to. So it's going to be an unfulfilled thing.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like
we
I
don't know
have
that,
one
but
pro.
Do what?
Yeah,
we don't know if it's not going to lead to anything. We don't know.
Let's be real. It's not leading to anything.
I mean, like
it,
I can tell you right now, this movie's going to. I don't.
it's his swan song. It's Todd Phillips' swan song. He's done with this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think it's going to lead to anything at all. I don't think we're getting
yeah,
nothing at all in the Todd Phillips verse after this.
Okay.
yeah. We don't need it. I think the one there's a lot of good things that came out of this movie, but the one major one major pro for this movie is
Mhm.
Harvey Dent. When I tell you this movie should have been called the trial of Arthur Fleck.
Yeah, that been a
This
perfect deal for real.
He was the ultimate antagonist. This dude's like
Mm.
a
Yeah,
portrayal of Harvey Dent as a district attorney, and he just grills the dog shit out of Arthur
and in a
Fleck.
way younger version that we're used to seeing on film. But the guy actually he's a great actor. Like I really like his portrayal. It's not your typical Harvey Dent you expect, as in like how young he is. But like yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, they even give you like a little tease into how he became his own Two Face because it's just like
Yeah,
they getting ready to run the verdict on him, and Arthur Flex get bailed out because the courtroom explodes, and the explosion burns half of
his face.
uh,
Yeah.
Harvey's face. So
Oh,
it's like,
okay, okay.
man,
Yeah,
so
real quick, you see him knocked out, like passed out unconscious, and it goes by his face. You see his face is kind of messed up, and like that's all you get of that.
it's
But
like, man. Next, you got to see like the downward spiral of him becoming Two Face because he's such a damn good lawyer, and that's
mhm,
basically his origin story anyway. So it's like
yeah,
the White Knight of Gotham, and
Mhm.
then this movie kind of teases descent into Two Face. So that was done really well.
what's wild too
Okay.
is like at the very end when the courtroom explodes, you're like, oh, it's finally starting to get good. That's when it ends.
Yeah, shit
Yeah,
And
goes
that's
it's
why
really
I
bad.
think that they could, is what I'm saying, is that they could do something with it,
mhm,
whether it be a series or something
sure,
that they just put on Max. You never know. With DC, like what you're gonna get next. Like we're getting a dynamic duo. Like we're
yeah,
getting what did we talk about last week? Bane and Deathstroke movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, so I mean, it's just like you don't know what you're getting until all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I guess this is what we're getting now. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it really seems like we're gonna have a lot more Elseworld stuff. Like, seems we're gonna have like multiple universes
Mhm.
of Elseworld stuff in this new DC realm. So,
And I'm okay with
yeah.
that. Like I'm okay
oh
with
yeah,
the storytelling of getting to see something new and different and just seeing where it goes. Even if it
mhm,
doesn't go anywhere, like that's completely fine too.
Yeah, it's like they're fail safe because it's like there's no other characters in DC obviously, so we're just going to keep pumping out Batman shit. So
mhm,
it's just like, all right, we're going to ignore like all the other characters. We'll push out another Joker movie. We'll push out another Dick Grayson project, another Bruce Wayne
mhm.
project. Like, bro, there is other DC characters, bro.
Well, I mean, we're getting so many in the Superman Legacy movie. I mean, crap, we probably got 12 different main characters in Superman Legacy that's been talked
Mhm.
about. So,
Yeah,
interested to see how well that plays out.
like
That's gotta
focus
be
on like
interesting
Hawk
too.
Girl or
Yeah.
something. Like
Speaking of that, I think she's going to be in Superman Legacy.
She will be, and
Yeah.
her costume so far looks pretty horrendous, but
Yeah.
hopefully they tidy that up.
Not as horrendous
Well,
as
that seems
Nathan
to be the
Fillion's
running joke.
haircut. Yeah.
Like,
But
You guys
yeah.
ready to talk about some Star Wars, man?
Yes, let's jump into it.
So, Giancarlo, he did an interview, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but he kind of teased the fact that the Mandalorian and Grogu is actually going to be the new start of a trilogy. So you know how we kind of have like 3 movies every single time that
Mhm.
Star Wars comes out? This is supposedly the start of a new trilogy for the Star Wars universe. What do you guys think about that? Like, are you excited about that? Were you thinking this was going to be more of a standalone? What do you think?
Well, so yeah, I don't know. I hope that's true. I hope like because he's like he said that Dylan has an interview. He's like there's going to be we're seeing multiple people's stories, and he's like their paths always cross and conjunct each at times. And he said I think this will lead into a trilogy series. I'm here for it. Let's be honest. I mean, out of all the new Star Wars stuff, over the past few years, the one tried and true thing that has been working is Mando. I mean, Mando has really carried. I feel like has done the best and has carried the new series or say new season ish that Star Wars has came into because
Mm,
they've been kind of hit and miss on some things, and especially for their fandom. I'm here for it. I mean, Pedro Pascal's Mando, love it. Grogu, he's like everybody's baby Groot. I mean, you have two characters here, portrayed by a greatly loved actor, and if that's what it's going to take to make y'all some money, and if it's going to please the fans, I can very well see this. I'm not against it at all. I love the Mandalorian.
mm,
Uh, I'll watch 10 seasons of it if they want to make them. So.
man,
And I just love like Mando too. A lot of the practical stuff that they use as well. I mean, you get some CGI, but I just love how Mando has that old Star Wars feel. Like it really gives you that old trilogy feel, and that's my favorite trilogy out of the 3. And
mm,
I'm here for it. I think they can't go wrong by it. So John Favreau, I mean, if I don't know if you want something to work, put this man in it. Marvel, Star Wars, let him direct it, let him help with writing. Because obviously he's shown us time and time again. This guy, if it wasn't for John Favreau, would we even really have an MCU? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we love Kevin Feige, but this was really John Favreau that really made that stepping stone for Iron Man 1 and 2. John Favreau made a huge stepping stone for Star Wars with Mandalorian. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, long as they keep John involved in these, I think it's good. I think it's fail safe.
Absolutely. Mandalorian was a fantastic idea as far as the TV show goes because it's just like at some point he needs to go back to the planet Mandalore and go back to its roots and learn more about its people and then team
mhm,
up to try to take the planet back.
Right.
So you could use that concept in the movies too, like dive deeper into
Oh
the
yeah.
Mandalorian lore and
yeah,
then give us more characters so it's just not always about Mando and
Mm.
Grogu
mhm.
and better team ups. Maybe a redemption arc for Boba Fett,
Yeah.
but
My
so
question though is
potential
if Giancarlo was the one that actually like was teasing this, does that mean that we're getting Moff Gideon in
again.
these Mando and Grogu movie
I don't
that's coming
know.
up in like 2026? Like, is that possible?
I mean, he was so heavily involved, with this cast, with the writers, with the directors, because he was the main villain, for the Mando series. So it's one of those things that could be taken either way. I think he's so well connected to this group that he
Mm,
would probably know regardless whether he was in it or not.
mhm.
But also his Moff Gideon was pretty great. I'm not gonna lie.
Classic
So
villain.
it could be one of those things where they're not done with his character and they
Yeah.
could interweave him with this. Either way, I'm good with like
Did we ever
Jean
see the backstory about his lightsaber sword looking thing?
Oh, the dark
the
saber,
dark
or
saber.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, that was the thing with that
season three.
yeah, season
Mhm.
3 that they went over. So
Okay. Yeah, I stopped watching it at season 2. So
oh, did
to be
you?
completely
Yeah.
Oh,
honest, yeah,
Oh,
I will
sounds like
drop
crash
a.
landing.
you
That
need to
was it.
watch season
I,
3.
Okay.
yeah, I will drop a small spoiler. So Moff Gideon was working on clones, And so the way season 3 ended, it looked like all of his clones got blown up.
Right.
But he could have had a plan B. So we could see him in the trilogy again one more time. I know some people might get tired of seeing Moff Gideon. I personally won't.
Right.
But
His
it
suit
would be
was
nice
sick
to
too,
see.
man.
Yeah. I would mind seeing a new villain, a fresh face.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of you not seeing season 3, you get to see Moff Gideon in a whole different way than you've not seen him yet. Then
Correct.
yeah, and let me tell you, like it's pretty fire. Like yeah,
all right,
yeah. Giancarlo too is one of those actors that man you can't put him in enough things, which he is in everything. I feel like right now, but oh my allergies are getting best of me. Whew. But yeah, I love Giancarlo. Like he's a great actor. So
yeah, once you see season 3, you'll see like what my cosplay goal is because Moff Gideon wears something in particular.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to build that.
It's a sick cosplay. It would be a sick cosplay.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely add it to the list of things that I need to watch eventually.
Yeah, we got our work cut out for us.
Absolutely.
So let's jump into some educated wish entertainment. Only got one thing on the list, and Rugrats live action movie. Enough said. So growing up as a kid, Rugrats was a very well loved, like one of my favorite, not favorite, but it was in my top realm. I loved watching Rugrats as a kid.
Yeah, I had it on VHS.
Yeah, the orange Nickelodeon.
Yes,
tape.
The orange one.
Yep. But Rugrats is great. And that being said, and me growing up on Rugrats, I really don't want to even see this. I don't care about this.
I don't know who asked for this. This is what I want to know. Like a live action CGI hybrid remake of this. I mean, so the good news is that you have Jason Moore, who is the Pitch Perfect director, who is directing this. So possibly we could get something good, but
I mean, his comedy is proven to be, is great.
Yeah, he's also working with the SNL like writers on this too. So I mean, it has like a lot of potential to be something possibly good, but for like a live action CGI remake, like or not even remake, just movie. I don't know, man. That it seems weird. Like, can you imagine Angelica's hair? Like someone actually I can't.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder too with him, being involved with Pitch Perfect and SNL and stuff like that. Like, are they going to gear this more towards us, that grew up on it and really try to hit on that fan base? That's what I'm wondering. Like, would it be lean more adult and try to hit that fan base that grew up on it that's now, full blown adults? So because I mean, how would you really? I mean, I guess you'd have those people take their kids or whatever to see it if it was more on the kid range level of things. But then, are you really going to maximize on capital for hitting that nostalgia? Where if you made it more adult joking themed, you're going to have a lot more people in seats if it's geared towards us who was raised up on it.
Maybe we're gonna get like a Rugrats all grown up type deal then, maybe where they're like adults.
I don't know.
I could dance with that.
I mean, shoot, all them kids should be in their 30s right now. So
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like if we go babies, it's gonna be a lot of weird CGI.
Oh yeah.
But if we do Rugrats all grown up, because they did that,
college students.
Like, is that something that we would
I
see
don't know,
then,
like,
or as like adults with like kids, or like seeing how that would work, or
right?
whatever.
Like, it's almost wondering if we would get like in their 30s or something like that, and then they all have their own kids, and so we get to see their kids speaking, but then we also get a whole bunch of the adult humor through the adults that or through the original Rugrats that are adults now. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see which route they go in this. I mean, this is very, very new news, so there's not really more information out there. But hey, we're doing this.
Yeah, another bold idea coming down from Hollywood.
Yeah, I also don't know how y'all feel about this, but if we didn't have enough of them, Scream 7 was greenlit, and its debut to come out February 27th of 2026.
Yep, that is the thing, and we did get kind of like a teaser type looking poster out of it, and doesn't. It just looks like, okay, cool. I guess this is a thing.
All
Like,
right.
They're getting up there with the fast movies, you know.
Yeah, I stopped around the third on this one too.
Yeah, I've not seen the last. I've not seen the last three. I don't think at all.
None.
I
I
probably never will.
I can probably say that I've seen one, maybe two of them.
Mm-hmm. I really don't think I've seen the third one. I think I've just seen 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where
it's
I
the
think I
same
am
movie
too. Yeah.
over and over and over. Oh, Ghostface
Oh,
stabbing people.
it's like Final Destination. Didn't they have 7 of them or something like that too?
They made it up to like
Uh,
five or
yeah.
it had to have been like 5 or 6.
So I could be wrong, but I think there was just recent news that they're making another one of
I
those.
I think I heard that too.
Yeah,
Like
I want to
I
say
think
we might have covered that actually 1 week.
we
I
might
can't.
have.
We can't. I don't
I
know, but
don't remember. I think I
now
blocked it out of my mind.
now yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably go watch it though.
Oh yeah, no, those like movies are like
Yeah.
trauma causing. So
Mhm.
you didn't think that you had a problem with logs on trucks. Well,
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
oh you
I was
wrong.
gonna say that put the fear of logs on trucks in the hearts of everybody, and I don't think anybody's ever seen that will ever forget that scene.
I
Mm-mm.
give them points for creativity because they find all these new ways to
They
just
do.
kill people,
They
and
do.
it gets creative as
Yeah,
hell.
that
And it's
NASCAR one where
fun.
like the wheel like came out and like smashed
Pow!
somebody and like killed them. I was like,
Yeah.
wow. That's
Yeah.
realistic though, because I mean, the amount of force that would be coming off of that tire.
Yeah.
Whoo.
Mm.
Oh man. So I
Yeah.
don't think this was a smart move. But the first 4 Indiana Jones movies were removed from Disney Plus.
Hmm.
The only one that's left
Wow.
on there, I think, is Dial of Destiny right now.
Yeah. So the reason why this actually happened was like they had all 5, yeah,
Mhm.
all 5 of them for a contract with Disney Plus,
Mhm.
just for Dial Destiny to come out and people could watch all of them. And that contract has now been up. So on October 1st, Paramount Plus took them all back.
Yep.
So now you can watch all 4 of them, the first 4, rather. There are really only 3 though, if you really want to think about it.
Let's be real. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the one with Shia LaBeouf.
Mm-mm.
So those are on Paramount Plus now. So if you wanted to watch them, you would
Mhm.
have to go there. And if you go on Disney Plus and you put in Indiana Jones, you have like only that one movie of Dial of Destiny, and then like
Right.
2 little like specials that they made about like making it.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's stupid. I mean, Indiana Jones is such a well of nostalgia. Like to me, I mean, that's a staple of my childhood. Like, why would you not why would you not renew a contract and keep them on Disney Plus? I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
that fits in that realm of streaming.
yeah. I don't know. Like it's not like they have like Jaws or anything on there on Disney.
Jaws?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I mean like it I know that like they did it just so that like when Dial of Destiny came out, like people would be like hyped about seeing it or whatever.
Right,
And then you
right.
saw the
Yeah.
de-aging of uh Han Solo of Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. Yep.
Yeah.
You can call
So
him on Solo. It's okay.
You heard that name.
Yeah, yeah.
so like we saw that and I was like, oh, that's fucking weird. And I saw Dial of Destiny and I was like, okay, cool. Seen this once, don't ever have to see it again. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's just because like that like Paramount's like our it's really our project. This is ours. So
Right.
time for it to come back. I don't think that they would even let Disney renew it, honestly.
Hmm.
Mm.
It's very possible. So,
But
get some
speaking
John
of
Williams
the
news?
yeah, of Indiana Jones and Jaws and Star Wars and
Mm,
everything that we've been talking about, the John Williams has that new documentary coming out. It's called Music by John Williams. And that's going to be coming out onto Disney Plus on November 1st. They
mm,
did release a trailer. I'm a huge music nerd, so I'm excited to see this. I love documentaries, so music and documentaries put together, that is my bread and butter.
Mm.
Um, so this documentary is apparently supposed to explore the early days of John Williams when he
mm.
was a jazz pianist. I did not know that, and I thought that
Okay.
was super neat.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't know that either.
so it starts from then of like when he started doing that until
Mhm.
now. It covers like the 54 nominations for Oscars that he had and the 5
Good
wins that he
God.
actually has had.
That's so
Based
many.
off that. I know it's so
So
many.
many.
Sheesh.
But I
He's a
mean, like,
legend.
he's a great dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, his musical talent is
Mm,
immense.
for
Protect
sure.
John Williams at all costs.
Yes. I will take a
uh,
bullet for this man.
so I've not seen it, but we got to get Squid Game 2 teaser, right?
Yes, we
Mhm.
did. We got to get a poster, and it's saying it's coming out on
Okay.
December 26th, so the day after Christmas. And we got to see the trailer and the teaser trailer, and the teaser trailer, like it's like a maybe 5-second little video of
Okay.
uh the guy that you see in the train station in the first one with those like little game like
Mhm.
red and blue tile looking things that they were like playing the game. You
Mhm.
see him getting ready in the morning and going to that train station and then like looking dead into the camera and saying, "Do you want to play a game?" And I'm like, "No, no, I don't
Say
want to play
no.
games." Because
So I have not
either
seen the first season at all.
what,
Yeah, so
what,
I've watched the part of the first episode, and that's as far as I got.
and you're telling me that I need to watch things?
Yeah.
Sir,
What is it really that good?
sir,
It
yeah,
is.
Huh. Okay. I'm gonna have to
It's a
try give it a shot again then.
yeah. I 100% recommend it.
I got through like
Um,
halfway through the first episode. I'm like, this is kind of boring, and I just never picked it back up.
it picks up,
it
Okay.
picks up quick
very
too.
much picks up. Yep,
The
very fast.
the game itself, whew,
Okay.
0 to 100.
So,
All right.
speaking of more things that we have coming, new and upcoming, um, Super Mario Brothers Movie 2 is something that is now in the works.
I'm
Uh,
here for it.
yeah, we had Keenan Michael Key, who plays Toad,
Mm,
talk about it in an interview, and he just said like, "Oh, there's more Easter eggs, more lore from the old games that is going to be in this one." So
heck
Yeah.
yes.
I'm excited for it. I wasn't really expecting the first one to be as good as it was.
Same. I
Um,
I didn't expect it to be to like it as much as I did, but I did.
mm,
And
yeah,
I know there's a lot of Chris Pratt haters out there, but man, I like his Mario actually. I feel like he did good with it. So
Right? I didn't
I
even
was
check
pleasantly
for him.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when I was watching the movie, this didn't feel like I was listening to Chris Pratt. I was listening to Mario.
yeah,
Mm, yeah.
it's a Mia.
Mario, Mamma Mia.
um,
uh,
so Wendy's and SpongeBob decided to do a collaboration, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for this. So on this Tuesday, I believe is the 8th. Yeah. So on Tuesday,
mhm,
this is coming out. You got to see the Krabby Patty burger. So it's just like a regular like Big Mac or whatever
mhm,
kind of looking thing, and they just put Krabby sauce in it. The Krabby sauce, for people that have already tried it, have said that it's an equivalent to like the Canes, Raising Canes like sauce, like their
okay,
sauce.
okay.
Or
I'm okay
if you
with
guys
that.
haven't had that sauce, it's kind of like a vinegary Thousand Island type
Mhm.
sauce.
I like those kind of sauces.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I'm okay with it. Like it, they literally, or sorry, it's not a Big Mac. They literally said the Krabby Patty collab burger is the quarter pounder with a secret, top secret Krabby collab sauce, is what it
Mm,
says.
okay.
And then the other thing that Wendy's is bringing is something that they have never done before. It's the first time ever that we've seen anything like this, and this is the biggest thing that I'm excited about. Is
Mhm.
there pineapple under the sea frosty? So it's a vanilla
Yeah.
frosty, just straight vanilla frosty, right? But it's got a mango and pineapples like
Swirl.
puree like swirled
Oh
into it.
yeah. Heck yes.
Um, yes, so they have that and like fries, and all I want to do is just take the fries and just like dip it into the frosty and eat them.
I'm here
Yes,
for it. Like I'm not even a SpongeBob fan, unpopular opinion, but like
Mhm.
I'm actually excited to try this.
I am probably going to go out of my way on Tuesday to go find this. I found out that I have a Wendy's 8 minutes away from my work, so
Heck yes.
it's happening.
Yeah. Got one a block away from my house too, so I have no excuse not to go.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say there's one not too far. So,
Yeah.
so speaking of movie sagas that need to die, we have a teaser for Saw 11.
Yep, yep, we have that.
Uh,
It's officially happening. It's coming September 26th, 2025.
mm,
And Tobin Bell's like Jigsaw
mhm.
is officially returning and going to be in it, and he's going to have like a major part in it. So it's going to be a continuation of 10 because like he died I think in Saw 3. So it's kind of like a prequel-ish type thing, but it's still called Saw 11 or XI. Um Yep, that's a
Yeah.
thing.
The goddamn Super Bowl with
Gonna do for real.
the Saw
XV10.
51.
And for any of you Disney fans out there who love Selena Gomez and Wizards of Waverly Place, getting some back of Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, which will
Yes.
debut October 29th of this month.
Yes. So it's going to be on Disney Channel on October 29th, and then the next day it'll actually be coming to Disney Plus. It's going to have 8 episodes at first. You get to see there like Selena Gomez is in it, but she's kind of just like a little bit in it, not really like a lot in it like she was in the original. But you get to see like more of like her brother, I think, in the series. Like
She had 2 brothers in that, didn't she?
Yes. Yes.
I think she had a real younger one and then an older one.
Yeah, and I think it's the older one.
Okay.
Because like you can see him in that actual poster. He's one to like the left, or like it's like him teaching like the younger generation. Yeah, he's
Gotcha. Yeah, that is the older one. Yep. Gotcha.
So like he's teaching like the younger generation like how to use magic and stuff like that. Terrifier 3. Apparently, the opening scene for this has been said to be so gruesome that we have had many people walk out, and one person has actually thrown up.
So I heard this about the first one.
Okay.
So, like every time a Terrifier movie is released, I've heard this every time. They're like, "Oh, it's so gruesome that people are walking out of the audience throwing up." And so, like now we're 3 movies deep, and we keep hearing the same thing. And I've yet to meet somebody that's seen somebody throw up. So I feel like this is a marketing thing that they're just I'm not saying somebody didn't throw up, but it's just like how many times are we going to hear about this every time the movie comes out? I still need to watch these. I'm just like we talked about before. I catch so many clips on TikTok, and I'm like, it seems really cheaply made and corny. Which there's certain things that have a cult following, and it's and that's probably one of those cult following things that it has this very very particular fan base of people who just love it, and it's one of those things where if you make 20 of these, it's gonna always have butts and seats for that cult following. But I'm not going to knock it until I see them. They are on my list to watch because 4, as we talked last week, I think 4's already been confirmed. So yeah, I need to jump on this train and see what it's about.
Or you
I've
could
made
just
several
watch the
attempts
train
this
go by.
past week. Yeah.
I
That's
like
true.
that. Okay.
And just wave at it.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right.
Social media is pressuring me into watching this shit, and I'm like, I want to, but it's like my plate is full.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I've watched number 1 and I think a part of number 2.
Really?
And I was like,
So then I should just let this train go on by and watch.
Yeah, just like
Well, when it comes to horror, like don't be wrong, you have your corny stuff from the 80s that we grew up on, but
but like
other
you
than
said
that,
in the last episode, this I thought came out in the 80s. It did not. It came out in like the 2000s, and I was like,
2016 was the first one, and so like I'm like besides the corny aspect of some OG favorites, when it comes to like new horror stuff now, like I don't look for the corniness in horror. Like I look for very realistic, very well written, very like that's what I look for nowadays horror. So like the corniness of horror that for me, my personal opinion, taste like I don't want any of that. But
so Slumber Party wasn't your bread and butter.
No.
You have to be really deep in the trenches with your fandom of horror because it's like they release like B rank movies and C rank and D rank, and like people like me will show up and watch all that crazy shit like Sharknado and whatnot. And Terrifier is in that realm.
Okay, well then you have to watch it, Blake. I don't recommend it for you.
Yeah.
So I am not a Sharknado guy. So
it's a waste of your time for sure. But if you're stoned,
the alligator swamp one? I can't remember what it was, but there was a hurricane that happened, and then there was a killer alligator on the loose.
Really?
Yeah.
There's one fairly recent one. I cannot remember the name of it, but it had like a bigger budget, more
Yeah.
marketing, and it had a theatrical release too. But I cannot remember the name of it. But.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah, that's like the one that I was just talking about because I think it had Kristen Stewart in it. If I'm
Oh,
not
really?
mistaken.
Yeah.
Another reason not to watch it. All right.
You ready to get some gaming?
Oh
Yeah, Tay,
yeah.
let's jump into some gaming.
All right, welcome my gaming people to your segment of gaming. Um, anyway, so Lords of the Fallen, it came out in like 2023 or maybe 2022. But anyway, like it's kind of like a Dark Souls type looking game. Number 2 has officially been like said that it's in development. And it's supposed to come out in June of 2026. It's going to be a action RPG. It's going to come out on in like for the PS5 and Xbox X and S. Um, and yeah, but it very much has that like Dark Souls like vibe to it. So if you guys like Dark Souls and you're looking for more for
I
some
do
reason,
in life. Oh, talking about
Dark humor.
what the fuck? Okay. Well, the next thing I want to talk about is Mario and Luigi. They have a new game coming out called Brothership. It's available for pre-order, and it's going to be releasing exclusively to Nintendo Switch on November 7th. This is the first Mario and Luigi RPG type game in nearly a decade.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so like it's been a while since we've gotten just like a straight Mario and
Right.
Luigi game. You've had Mario doing his thing, Luigi doing like Luigi Mansion and all that kind of stuff. But now they're finally coming back together to do a game together. So exciting. It's probably
Heck
going to be like a co-op type thing that you can have two people playing it together. So
I'm here for it.
yeah,
Can't ever get tired of
it's
Mario. I
awesome.
love Mario.
Yeah, and I love those games because it's kind of like puzzly, and that's
Mhm.
definitely like what I look for in a game. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is Avatar: The Last Airbender. They have a triple A action RPG that's in development by um, Paramount Game Studios. So, what a triple A RPG is, one might ask. Thank you for asking, because like
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was either.
Uh, Me neither. I knew about the AAA car stuff, but that's fine.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research, and triple A RPG is an RPG that is a part of like a high budget, high profile video game.
Okay.
So it's produced by well-known publishers that have like that are designed to be like more immersive and expansive.
Okay.
Um, so the really cool thing about this is it's actually a prequel. So for all of the Avatar fans out there, we got to see Aang, after he was like in the ice bubble, and then that's when Korra and everybody found him, right? Um,
Right.
but what this game is it's a prequel to that, so it's set 1,000 years before that. So we get to see him in his like land and in the air temple and everything before
Okay.
it got like demolished by the Fire Nation. So we get to see that. There has been a tease that we are going to see Avatar Kyoshi in it. So I'm also excited for that because we know Avatar Kyoshi is a bad bitch. So I've always been interested in like what they're gonna do with this. So yeah,
Heck
I'm
yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for gaming.
Deontay, you ready to jump into some con spotlight?
It's time for some con spotlight. Yeehaw!
Oh,
Get ready for some big Texas Comic Con. So in 5 days, we have a huge event that's going down in San Antonio, Texas. If you're in the local area, it starts Friday, October 11th, and ends on Sunday, October 13th.
mm-hmm.
This event will take place at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, which is 900 East Market Street in San Antonio, Texas. You can go online and get your tickets from Big Texas Comic Con, just one C, .com. And you let me read the prices for you real quick, actually. So Friday general admission, that is $20 for adults, $5 for kids ages 3 through 10. Saturday is $35 for adults, same price for kids, and then Sunday is $30 for adults, but $5 for kids. And so the VIP tickets are sold out, and the 3-day pass is also sold out. So
damn.
Wow.
You guys got to get on it. It's literally this weekend coming up. So we covered it just in time. We have a plethora of special guests. 3 different, well, I'll say 3 primary categories. So we got Cobra Kai with Ralph Macchio is coming. William Zabka is coming. Solo Marduena. It was pretty much like Danny LaRusso. What is his name? Lawrence. So Johnny Lawrence from the Karate Kid movies, and then all the kids that they are teaching in their dojo from the Netflix series that's going to be.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's going to be really hype. Another category that we have is Sons of Anarchy. Charlie Hunnam is going to be there. Ron Perlman, Theo Rossi, and Emilio Rivera are 4 of the big names that's going to be in attendance for this event.
Heck yeah.
We have 2 big names from Marvel, Charlie Cox and John Bernthal. So Matt Murdock and Frank Castle, respectively.
This is awesome because it's right before Daredevil's supposed to come out, so that's so cool.
A great opportunity to promote.
Dropping any, as I said, could be dropping any little tidbits of them working on set.
Right. Well, I met Charlie Cox before, and it's like I'm really overdue for meeting John, and it's just like, damn, I wish I could go to this.
Yeah. So I sat in a panel one before with John Bernthal, and dude, I have to say, him and Giancarlo is probably my 2 favorite panels I've ever sat in. Out of all, quite a few panels I've seen of celebrities. John's just a great guy, man. Just sitting like listen to him talk, and just like how he talks about just his career, his life, and his different stories, and then how he talks to people, and then his care, like for veterans and soldiers and stuff like that, and how serious he took that role playing one as John Bernthal. Like he really put a lot of heart and soul into it, and just a great guy. But Charlie Cox, he's on my list to still meet.
Yeah, he's a great man too. And I'm not going to go on a limb and say that he remembers Blake's name, but when I met him, I was getting an autograph on Blake's behalf, and he's just like, "Tell your friend it was an honor of signing this photo for him," and I even got footage.
Yeah, video of it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's awesome.
Definitely a great guy. I can't wait to see him again. One of the conventions here locally, if he ever shows up here. So.
Yeah.
Another category we have is Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
So Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, and John Rhys Davies will all be in attendance for this con.
Yeah, John Rhys Davies. Indiana Jones fans too.
Hey, he's a big deal, man. That is a big deal.
Yeah. John Rhys Davies is a legend too. Like I love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, his resume is like it'll take you all day to read it. He's just been a part of everything. And then last but not least, of course, everybody that grew up in the 90s and you enjoyed some Blue's Clues, Steve Burns, and of course the other buddies of Blue will be in attendance at this con. So
it's just so wild that they have them all because you had like Steve, and then like he like passed on the mantle, and then they pass it on eventually to the last guy that I remember anyway. To see all 3 of them actually be here is really cool.
That's going to be a lit panel too. All the questions are going to be crazy, and their responses are going to be wholesome but down to earth because they're really good guys.
Yeah.
What's wild is like this con's another con in Texas. Like I swear it's like we've been going 13 weeks I think right now, 12 or 13 weeks. And I think we've had 2 or 3 already out of Texas.
And then when we
Nerd
did
capital.
the interview with Ming Chen, he talked about
Yeah.
what was it? The
Houston,
one
Comic
in Houston,
Palooza.
Houston Palooza,
Comic Palooza. Comic
Comic
Yeah.
Palooza.
Palooza.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like something Palooza, and I was like, I knew it was in Houston, and I knew it was Palooza, and I couldn't. But yeah, that's like another huge like Comic Con that's out there. So
What's wild is, like, I've just found out this past year, Deontay's talking about, like, Texas is also known not just for rodeo and cattle, like, it's like nerd capital of America, and it more and more stuff we keep finding out between Ming, all these, Comic Cons, it's like, "Okay, I guess this is true." But,
Get your
also
cowboy hats.
yeah, but speaking of which, if you've not caught the special episode yet, AMC's comic book man Ming Chen, we have a special episode where we interview him, talk about his life and career. And this man visits 25 to 30, or doesn't visit, he guests at 25 to 30 cons a year, roughly. Uh, Probably one of the most active celebrities out there, full time doing these con appearances, and one of the most fun guys to hang out with afterwards and stuff. But yeah, if you've not seen it, go catch it. It's a fun episode. Talk
yeah.
about him meeting Stan Lee, them doing the comic book men, all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
Bucky's.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to also a Comic Con this coming weekend called Chronic Con in
Yep.
Illinois.
Yep.
So
Is that
yeah,
in Chicago?
uh,
Or I could be wrong about that. I know it's in Illinois though. We'll leave it at
yeah,
that.
I know it's in Illinois. I don't think it was Chicago. It was like some other name.
Gotcha.
There's some of them said Chicago, some of them said a different name. So I'm not gonna hold you to
Yeah.
what where.
Yeah. Well, you
All
guys
right.
got 5 days to get your ass on that website and get those tickets.
Mm.
So, and that concludes this week's con spotlight.
All right.
Deontay,
So
do you have anything coming up for SNN?
yeah.
Oh, what do we have coming up? So we've been out of commission lately with all of our Twitch streams. Hopefully, we'll start back sometime next week and find a way to stream Warzone and maybe some Black Myth next week. So look forward to that.
Got that new merch store though.
We do have some merch. Go get your shirt.
Okay.
Personally, I have a coffee cup coming since I'm obsessed with coffee cups. I am that guy, and I hate being that guy, but I'm that guy.
I gotta order mine too.
I'm starting to run out of room for my coffee cup, so I gotta figure something out.
Woo.
But yeah, that's been this week for Fundamentals.